Welcome to the simpliHOM podcast, where we educate, inspire, and entertain real estate entrepreneurs seeking a casual and practical podcast. We're here to simplify your life and business.
You can find growth anywhere. And as long as you have an open mind and take those opportunities to learn, then you're going to grow from it.
The easiest thing too is just always being in your zone of genius. What you are passionate about and are good at.
The mindset shift is drastic when you're thinking of I am this person as opposed to I want to become or one day I will be is huge.
I feel like a lot of real estate companies have been putting a focus on themselves, basically. Recently, we've been putting it on the agents, and that's when our socials have been doing the best. It's become really personal, and we've gotten a lot more traction.
What's up? Welcome to the simpliHOM podcast, where we talk about everything that we don't want to talk about.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Or we don't stop talking about
the things. Don't stop talking about the things we love to talk about. I am Sean Miku, CEO and founder of simpliHOM, and I'm joined with Brett Ratkowski, our COO. He likes to introduce himself as CEO,
but you gotta have a big vision.
He's not there yet. We got Grant over here on the ones and twos. Still no Grant Cam because we still suck.
Yeah.
So,
hey Grant, say what's up.
Hey. So today we're mixing it up a little bit. It's just Brett and I. We're going to talk about building a real estate business instead of building a job, which the majority of realtors have to varying degrees. You can be minimally successful and have a real estate job, or you can be massively successful and still have a real estate job. And if you're listening to this, what is the difference between a job and a business? Difference between a job and a business is simply if you can still make money without showing up, you have a business.
Yes.
If you have to show up, if you have to go show houses, if you do all those things, then you have a job.
I always say it's the vacation test, right? If you go on vacation and your business grew, it's a business.
Yeah.
If you lost income or lost revenue or lost business, it's a job.
And I would call it a consistent vacation test.
Yes.
You can get lucky on one vacation.
For sure. Before I built my real estate business, I went to Europe for 10 days and closed like 4 deals while I was gone. So
you're like, man, it's working.
Maybe I should go.
And then he got back, and 3 months later, he was broke.
Yeah, for sure. But I hear a lot of agents talk about it all the time, like, oh, maybe I should go on vacation more, actually close more deals. Well, no, you did more prepping to leave and you actually worked more. So maybe you should go on vacation more.
Yeah. I had a conversation earlier today of an individual who's got like monthly vacations planned out, and it's more stress than it is a relief of, man, I finally get some time away.
Yep.
And the driver of that stress is the fact that there are no systems, processes, business in place. All of the pressure is on that one individual to perform for themselves, their families, et cetera. So, the conversation in that particular situation was, well, you need to hire somebody that can take some of this pressure off of you. And in that situation, I would say if you're so busy working with buyers, you need to hire a showing assistant.
Yeah.
You get somebody out there. You can hire a buyer's agent if you want. There's a million ways to build the business.
Yeah.
And what we're going to talk about today is not by any stretch of the imagination going to be the only way or even the best way.
Yeah.
You have to find the best way for you. But what's the first advice that you give to people for, their, let's say we're working with somebody who sells somewhere between $8 and $10 million a year. They want to build their business, their job, but they don't even know the first step, because the first step is scary in the fact that they're going to end up taking a step backwards before they can go forward.
Always.
I always talk about the slingshot principle. You have to step back to slingshot forward. What advice would you give that individual of how to grow, how to hire, and then also how to prepare for that slingshot?
Yeah. So, and this took me a long time to understand this, is that you have to be okay taking that step back, right? You have to be okay knowing that you're gonna have to grind for, some time to get your systems and processes in place. But before you even make a hire, decide to hire somebody, what do you need taken off of your plate, right? And so for me, first hire is always an assistant. Why? Because they can do mundane things like send follow-up emails or help you with contract to close. Well, luckily here, most of the agents utilize our transaction management here. So that's already, quote unquote, an assistant. Well, not an assistant, but is taking things off your plate. But the first thing you have to understand is what is the money-making activities that I personally have to do to grow the business.
Yeah.
The rest of it needs to be systematized out. And I say, what the easiest way I can say how to build a system or a process is, what do you do more than one time? Yep. Anything you do more than one time has to be documented.
Yeah.
And so you say it's scary. It is, because a lot of they think, oh, systems, where do I even start? The easiest place is literally, I'm writing a contract. Hey, in this video, we're going to talk about how to write a contract and record it, screen record it.
Yeah.
Now instead of you having to sit with somebody to show them how to write a contract, here's a video that they can watch over and over and over and over again.
Defining the process.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a moment a couple years ago, and we were actually at the same event. And it was like a click moment for me, because so many people will talk about systems and processes. And I was like, cool. Like, I kind of had a general idea of how this all works, but I couldn't like put the pieces together. Mm-hmm. And the thing that put the pieces together for me is, a system is a cookbook and a process is a recipe.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep.
And so when you simplify down to that, then it's really easy to look at the business as a whole and say, do I have systems and processes? Do I have a video that explains the how, the process? And do I have the system that I'm working the process within, so that people can understand it, whether that's a software system or just a guideline system? Mm-hmm. And for me, the implementation was a little bit more challenging, because at that point I already had a company, I already had agents, and I didn't know how to implement the system, right?
Yeah,
cool, this looks great on paper, but
mapping it out. You were mapping it out, bro.
No. No, I was creating it. So the backstory here is Brett likes to map things out, and Sean likes to just do things.
There's like an 8-foot whiteboard in my office.
And Sean just opens up a new tab and like starts building it, and it's just like done.
That's the dynamo in you.
Yeah, and so I call Brett the cartographer, because he likes to map things out so much.
I catch myself saying that from time to time, and I'm like, maybe I should say something different.
Let me GPS this new way of doing this.
Let's build out a vision.
Right. So one of the other challenges that people have, and this was a conversation topic earlier for me as well, is the fear of the, let's say, moderately successful to highly successful individual agent who is uncertain of how to take the client who wants the person and give the client to another person in which they can trust them.
Yeah. So that is, and we do this with our sales with my company as well. Like, from a setter to the closer, it's all a transition of trust. It's expectations, but it's not just like, hey, Johnny's going to reach out to you. No, you're personally introducing them to this person that you're trusting with their business.
Yeah.
So it's got to be, the transfer of trust has to happen. It could be a 3-way phone call, could be a personal introduction, could be an email, could be a Zoom call, could be something, but we use Facebook Messenger, right? It has to be some sort of trust from you to that buyer's agent, that listing agent, whoever it is. That has to happen. Hey, and but it also comes down to expectations with your client first, right? With that person.
Well, which is the entire real estate business.
Yeah.
All about expectations. The entire process of working with the client or setting expectations for that transition of trust, which I really like that phrase, by the way. Because it's not just the, hey, just want to let you know I'm crazy busy and I don't really have time, so I'm going to have Brett help you in this situation. Yeah. It's more of a, hey, listen, I understand how important this is to you. I am here for you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, like call me. I'm here for you.
Every step of the way.
However, I fully trust Brett to go out there and find your dream home with you. Yeah. He's going to be there. He's going to guide you every step of the way. If you need me, call me. But here's Brett.
Yep.
And that type of a transfer of trust is key.
Yeah.
And that's the I'm hiring a buyer's agent or somebody to help me take me from 10 million to 20 million, and I'm going to have to feed them leads.
Yeah. And that's why you, in that position, you're not going to you're not just going to be like, oh, hey, Susie, come on my team and I'm going to give you all those trusted clients of mine. No, it's not. You have to truly trust that person that they can give the same exact support and service that you would, but it comes down to training them the way you handle your clients.
Yeah.
Because if you know, hey, I've trained Susie in exactly how I work my clients, you know she's going to do it the same way. Yep. Or there may be nuances that are a little bit different, but the overall experience is going to be the same. And then you can sleep easy at night knowing that, hey, this person, but understanding that they are their own person as well. And some things may be a little bit different.
Yeah. So now you're training expectations, right? Like you're setting expectations with the client, but you have to train those expectations of what you expect of the person. Yep.
Absolutely.
In how that is.
Because if you just bring somebody in, right? You not every agent that we bring in to simpliHOM does their business the same. None of them. Yeah. It's all different.
Yeah.
Everyone's different.
And that was a tough thing for me too, right? Like when I started the company, there were 4 people. I had personally trained those 4 people. And then when we went from 4 people to 12 people, I still had a very integrated working relationship with them. And then we started to hit a point where it was like 150 people. I can't answer the phone. And so then you start like letting go. And that is I would imagine, one of the biggest challenges that people have. They have this visions of grandeur, right? They want to, live a better life, have a better lifestyle, whatever the case may be. They hear this wonderful thought of a team that is sold to them from so many different angles, truthfully. Yeah. Oftentimes from coaches who are like, oh, you need a team. They probably charge more for their coaching. Who knows? But then there are other, there are firms who are like, yeah, build a team because we collect 12,000, whatever.
If they close.
Yeah. And oh no, I did it.
Yes. Do we have a button?
Oh no. Do we have a button? Oh, thank God. Damn, I just totally lost my thought.
Yeah. No, listen. So yes, they bring it in, but there's most individuals, they think, oh, I can bring in another person and make more money off of them. But typically the person that joins a team is a newer agent or isn't doing more and wants to do more and looks at this person as the expert or the go-to in their market of like, I could work with this person, learn what they have and what they're doing in their business. And then most people that join the team are going to always jump off the team and start their own thing. But
not always.
Not always. No, absolutely not. Not always.
If you teach a man to fish, believe it or not, if you were the person that did the teaching, oftentimes the loyalty will run deeper than the ability to fish.
Yeah, I know people back home that are same. I mean, they'll always be on this person's team as long as they're in real estate because they know it almost becomes comfortable. They know they're going to make X to Z amount of money a year.
Yeah, there's that, right? If you're on like the big lead producing team or whatever. But then there's also this person changed my life.
Yes.
Loyalty.
Correct.
Which is that's one that I love. Yep. Like I love the ability to speak into somebody's life and help guide them and direct them because I've gone through that journey.
Yeah.
And so like you can look at a situation and go, all right, well, yeah, so this is the next obstacle that you're going to face in your business and also in your personal life because of the triangle of it all.
Yeah.
And this is how you're going to need to navigate this. And then when they get through it, you go, all right, cool, good job. And now this is coming next, right?
Yeah. This is the next cycle.
The next little battle.
Yeah. And understanding always going to
never ending.
Yeah.
We were joking about that before we started the podcast. We can talk about running a business, building a business all day long. The reality is you are absolutely going to be operating in a place of chaos and never ending to-do lists for as long as you intend to grow.
Ever. You know, if you are truly trying to grow your business, there's always new challenges.
Yeah.
It's something new, and you never quite feel like you ever have it figured out fully.
Yeah.
And
if you do, you absolutely do not.
You don't. You're not doing enough if you have it figured out.
Examples. I mean, going back to the systems and processes and what is your first step? Ours, you know, when I started the company, I didn't even have systems and processes.
Most people don't.
And the first agent that joined me, Jessica, she works for this big, huge company, and she was like, Sean, you need systems and processes. I was like, it's not corporate America. Like it's just real estate. We can figure this out. And then I spent 3 years building systems and processes because I realized that's the only way to actually do it.
Yeah. It's the conveyor belt. I saved you there.
Thanks. Yeah.
It's the conveyor. It's the conveyor belt, right? Like you can't take things off of your plate if they don't know what steps to go about, right? Yeah. Onboarding, for example.
Correct.
How many times have we changed that in the last 3 months?
Yeah, let alone from the very beginning.
It's changed. It's always changing. But now we've got it down to a point where we know the bottleneck at any given point.
Yeah.
Right? You have a value chain of every step that you're going to have to take in that one process or system. Well, in that system. So the onboarding system has a step of processes that happen, but we know now Paige can tell me at any point, like, hey, we need to change this area up a little bit, or is there a way we can fix this?
Yeah.
But before, she just felt like it was pure chaos because there were things that were popping up, but now she knows it happens or it could happen over time.
Right.
And she knows how to handle those now. So but at any given time, we know where the bottleneck is, where we're losing time, losing revenue, losing whatever, and we can fill that gap and fix the process and make it better.
Yeah. Yeah, we've rebuilt that one a lot.
Yeah.
From when it was just Sean onboarding. I didn't even know in the very beginning that we had to like send things over to MLS and stuff. I was like, I don't know how this works. You just sign the paperwork, right? And now we have a very, very dialed in process that has 23 steps.
Yeah. There's probably more steps in that, but some of those are like, Paige knows, like, all right, I'm going in here and I'm doing this, this, and this.
Yeah.
But 23 overall different, not even steps, different processes of the onboarding.
Right. And also in our contract to close department.
Yeah.
I mean, like we had a way, but it wasn't the way.
Yeah. Now it's dialed in.
It's dialed way in.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our TCs. So the average TC works, let's call it 40 deals a month. Because of the chaos surrounding that whole segment. And right now we have TCs working 85.
Crazy.
And that would not be possible without a very dialed in process.
Yep.
Inside of a dialed in system.
Yeah.
That we were notified last week is going away. So now we're rebuilding the system. So yeah, it never ends.
You know the steps now. Now it's like,
right.
All right, now,
yeah, you just plug it in.
Exactly. Now you plug it in. It's like, it may change a little bit because the actual, in this case, system is different for the process, right? The tech that you're going to be using is a little different, but
yeah. And going back to my initial brain fart,
you remembered it now?
Yeah, I got there.
Right.
Yeah. I might have just forgotten it again since you just disrupted me. But
my bad.
No, but ultimately, you guys will look at systems processes in your business, and you'll go, well, I don't even know where to start. You got to start with one. Like what you said earlier about, what is the thing that is taking away your time and how do you build that around it? But don't overcomplicate any of it because it's a daily build.
Yeah, I'm working with an agency client right now, and I just mentor him. He's paid me whatever, but mentor him in helping him build his systems and processes out, right? I get on a coaching call for an hour every 2 weeks, once every 2 weeks. And I almost don't have to get on calls with him now because the first 2 calls was he was confused and didn't understand it, and then it just clicked, and he's like, "This is so much easier." All you have to do is break it down. Let's give an example. Like writing a contract, right? Writing an offer. You know every aspect of what you need. Okay, I got to log into .loop. I've got to create the loop. Every step, it's step 1, 2, 3, 4, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down from logging into .loop to, if you don't, whatever system you use, transaction desk, whatever. But logging into .loop, creating the loop. All right, now we've created the loop. In the next video, we're going to show you how to fill out the
details.
Which
autofills the forms, yeah.
So it's step by step and understanding what is step 1 all the way to the end, and then just literally screen sharing everything we do in real estate, not everything, majority of it is on the computer.
Yeah.
So it's super easy for us to build out those showing properties. I loved when you, in the orientation, you show your process for scheduling showings.
Yeah.
I use that to this day with my wife. It's so much easier. I would have never done it like that.
Yeah.
Right? You go in and select them, it maps it out, and then they call and show it for you.
Yeah.
But same thing is if you're going to bring people on your team and you want them to schedule showings, here's exactly step by step how I do it every single time. And you should be doing systems and processes even if you don't want a big team. You're just yourself. So that you know it's the same every single time. You don't have to remember if you forgot a step or not. It's the same process, same steps every single time.
Yeah. And the reality is anyone who's productive at a moderate level already has systems and processes, period. Mm-hmm. You just haven't documented those systems and processes. And so that's one of the challenges that has to take place is the fact that you have to document those things. Mm-hmm. You have to take the time to say, all right, well, this is how I do this, and this is how I'm going to have you do this.
Yeah.
Right. And then going back again to my previous brain fart, the vision that you're working toward, not to be all cliche, but the time is going to pass no matter what.
Yep.
So you need to front load the work, meaning you need to take the time now, understand that it's going to take you a while. It's going to take you several months, or maybe minimal years, but years, for you to really dial that in and start to scale that up to where it does become the business that you want it to be.
Yep.
The opportunity for you to travel and still have a growing, booming business instead of travel and be stressed out about all of the things that you have to do and rush to get done, and then knowing full well that you're either going to end up giving away part of your commission to somebody to help you out when you're gone, or you're just going to have to be like, hey, listen, I'm sorry, I'm on a family vacation for 4 days and I'll be back on Tuesday. You know, and so like that's not a good way to grow a business, because you're not.
Yeah. And I agree. Your business is always ever evolving, right? And so nothing is ever concrete and like this is the only way it'll always ever be done. You're gonna have those aha moments from time to time that you're like, oh, what if we do this all the time? What if we do it this way?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so much easier. Yeah. Why didn't we think about that earlier? You got to go.
It comes from experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, same with the onboarding process or the TC process. I mean, we've onboarded 400 people. Mm-hmm. I think we've got it pretty figured out as far as the best way or an improvement of the way. Yeah. But really, the constant need to improve comes from a constant growth element. And going back previously to the chaos you're going to feel is only if you're constantly growing. Yeah. For us, it's always hey, we need to streamline and make this more efficient because we're trying to throw more work onto one individual specifically. Yeah. And that's not necessarily what each of you who are maybe listening to this today are going through. Many of you are probably just at a point of just pure like, I want to have a business, I want to have something, but I'm overwhelmed by what step one is.
Yeah. And it always comes to this, like, you do this a lot and you say this a lot. What is your time worth? Right? Like, what is your dollar per hour? Right? What are you worth per hour? And so when you truly understand that, and let's just do easy math, what do you make on average per month? You're gonna have to break it down to year, because what do you do on average every single month? How many hours do you really work? Not say you're working. How many actual hours do you actually physically work and are growing your business? That could be showing properties, actually writing offers, not just because you're in the office.
Yeah.
Right. Understanding that.
Yeah. Scrolling Instagram isn't working.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. You'll understand once you figure that out, and you understand that, dang, I can go hire somebody that can do it 80% as well as me for $20 an hour.
Yeah.
I'm worth 150.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
A good assistant should be a 3 to 4x multiplier on your income.
Right.
They should be there to help you grow. So step one is what is it that you don't like doing? That's the easiest. Yeah. What do you not like doing on your day-to-day business in your business? And let's build systems and processes around that to get that off your plate as soon as possible.
Yep. And
then understanding before you even do any of that, okay, is it something I can take off my plate or just simply eliminate?
Yeah.
Because scaling a business is not about adding more things or adding more team members. It's about simplicity, simplifying your business.
Yeah.
Right? What can we eliminate from the business first?
Yeah. And that's the eliminate, delegate, or do.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
So this is how bad I am with the time justification. So Thomas, my best friend, was in town the other day, and he goes, hey, so you should get your gas at Costco. Of course, he's a little biased. He's got Costco stock. He works there. And he goes, you should get gas at Costco. It's 50 cents cheaper than anywhere else, which is true. It's 50 cents a gallon cheaper.
Going with this.
And so I go over to Costco, and
how long did you wait?
Like 8. No, I didn't wait.
What?
No. This is the
Costco
point of the
usually,
story.
okay.
Yeah. So there's like 8 pumps, and there's just a line on all 8 pumps. Because I was an idiot, I went on a Saturday.
Yeah, so you waited in line is what I'm saying.
No, I didn't wait.
Really?
No,
Oh,
I
you
pulled
left.
in
Gotcha,
and I
gotcha.
saw it,
Yeah.
and I was like, nah.
Yeah.
So I go across the street and I sent him a picture of the Costco with the line, and I said, my time is not worth the
50
$9 that I'm going to save pumping up my car.
Ain't that?
If $9 breaks me, I was screwed a long time ago.
Yep. That's like
That's my justification.
yeah.
Anyway.
It's absolutely true. It is. It's there's a gas station literally outside of my neighborhood, and most people are like, oh, don't go. They probably got water in their gas. I've never had issues with it. I don't even know what this place. It's like a Quick Mart or something like that. I'm driving to it. Why? Because it's literally right outside of my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't have to drive anywhere. And there's nobody. Maybe 1 or 2 cars here or there. I never have to wait. I can push my car to it if I ran out of gas, kind of thing, right? And so same thing. It may sometimes it's cheaper than other gas, but it's a quick. I don't have to waste time.
Right.
I know I can go there right now and not have to wait.
Meanwhile, I go to the Shell over across from Grant's house because my car requests Shell.
Supposedly needs Shell.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah, that one. So going to the what do you not like doing, one point that I'd like to note here is the fact that you can ask this, and I would encourage you all to ask this on both a personal and a business level. On the personal side, example, I do not cut my grass.
Me neither.
Not going to. I don't do my spraying for bugs. Not going to do it. I don't clean my house.
Neither do I.
Not going to do it.
Every once in a while, so I can't say that.
Those things to me are a waste of time.
I don't even pick up my dog poop.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
I pay somebody to pick it up.
If I had a dog, I would pay somebody too.
Right?
And it's not like so many people are going to hear that and go, oh, that's bougie, or oh, that's expensive, or whatever. But really, going back to what is your time worth, is it worth it for you to spend, $90 a month to get your grass cut when you're saving 2 hours a month, 3 hours a month? And it's never just 2.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. Cutting the grass is like, you got to cut it, you got to blow it, you got to do all this.
They come with like
crap.
6 guys and cut it in 30 minutes.
Yeah. So really look at your personal life.
Yeah.
Because, I had somebody tell me one time, if you ever cook again, you're doing a disservice to your business. I don't necessarily agree with that
I enjoy
extent
cooking,
of it, but I don't enjoy cutting the grass. I don't even own a freaking lawnmower.
Me neither.
No point.
Nope.
Now I have looked at
And I
those
have a
little robot ones. Have you seen the little robot
Dude.
guys? The little Roomba lawnmower things? Yeah. But those are things that you guys need to look at and go, okay, maybe there's a laundry service. Do you not like laundry?
They'll come pick it up.
Who the hell likes laundry?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I sure as hell know my wife doesn't. So it's like, find those things, because those might be the easiest things to delegate and get your time back initially, before you're maybe ready for the commitment of the financial commitment.
100% agree. Absolutely.
And then once you've maxed out your time after you've implemented those personal services, then you can go and say, all right, well, now I need to hire an assistant, a showing assistant, a buyer's agent, whatever, because now you've had more time to create these systems and processes around the way you already do things.
Yeah. And I always talk about it, and I learned this from Camille. It's a energy flow state, right? Is the task at hand cutting your grass, picking up the dog poop, writing an offer, whatever it is, does it give you energy or does it suck your energy? Do you feel good after completing that task, or do you feel drained and you don't want to do it? I don't want to cut the grass. I'll push that off for months and have I hire.
Yeah.
So for me, I try to stay in things that give me energy.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is not
and
always possible.
No, of course
to be
not.
fair
Of course,
to
you're always
everyone.
going to have to
Yeah.
do something. There's always things on your plate that you're going to have to do that you I hate writing emails.
Yeah.
I hate it, but I have to do it.
Yeah.
Right. I hate having phone conversations. I'd rather send a quick little text.
Right.
Unless it's you and I, because we have good conversations.
Yeah,
right.
Sometimes. But like haircuts, for example,
Yeah.
I've cut my own hair for years, because
I don't
I've
trust
got
myself.
it down to a point now where I can cut my hair in 15 minutes.
Or it takes me an hour and a half to drive there.
Yeah,
get cut,
it
and come
takes
back.
me
Yeah.
time to drive there. It takes me
Yeah.
time to sit there and wait, and then I got to pay for it. I'm like, I'd rather just, man, I'm losing today. I'm sorry, Grant. You're gonna have to edit all sorts of stuff.
Grant, what's up?
He's like texting. He didn't even know. Yeah, you'll hear it on the playback. So anyway, look at those personal things.
Yeah.
Then start diving into the business things. If you are an agent who is very buyer heavy, then I would personally recommend, after the assistant, that you go towards that showing assistant or buyer's agent, one or the other.
Yeah.
A showing assistant is going to be cheaper, period.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have a lesser split. Buyer's agent is going to cost more. But if you do it right and you scale your business up, then that buyer's agent, provided you can provide leads, that buyer's agent becomes a profit center.
Yes.
But you have to know and have a system around how are you getting those leads, how are you feeding these people, et cetera, before that can become a reality. Because what you will encounter is, if you don't have those things defined, your slingshot is going to be painful, because you're going to get pulled way back, because in order to keep them happy, you're going to give them all of your personal business.
Yep.
And then you're going to sit there twiddling your thumbs going, oh man, I'm not busy
I'm actually
right now.
losing
I'm
money.
stressing out. I'm losing money. And it's because you didn't properly identify what are the lead sources. How are you going to keep these people afloat? How are you going to teach them how to fish? How are you going to help make their runway long enough for them to find success within your knowledge?
Yeah.
And then if you're heavy on the listing side, you need to hire back-end support staff.
Yeah.
Because the listing side is the easy time-wise side,
You can
except
do more
for the back-end processes.
You can do more listings than buyers.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What else?
So yeah, I mean, in the end, it comes down to, if we talked about being an experienced agent but if you're a brand new agent, the same thing applies. You are actually at a better advantage as a brand new agent with no bad habits, no like crazy consistent business, because you can start the right way.
Yeah.
Start.
I agree. Just don't get ahead of yourself.
Correct.
Like, don't come out as a brand new agent and go, I'm going to build a team.
Facts.
You're not there yet.
Yep. You don't have no
You
proof.
got to get there. You got to get there. The best way to recruit is to have a story of success.
Yep.
Because people are going to be attracted to that.
Yep. That's, Ryan and I talked about when we first moved here, like starting a team, and it's the same thing. I wouldn't even hire somebody because I have no experience here. I have a lot of experience in Florida and I could have success, but I don't have enough business to give my wife, let alone them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's the same exact thing. I'm in the process of helping her build out her systems and process so she can have a better business, not so, but then that will translate into here's how we do things, and it's already built out.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, between like drawing maps and building out everyone else's systems and processes, I don't know how you have time for the gym twice a day.
Well, it's once a day and then a 45-minute walk. Decisions, right?
Decisions.
I decide.
You're right.
To
Commitments.
Commitments. Yes.
Yeah.
But the same thing. What you're talking about now goes into exactly what you said. Now I know I'm not doing the grass. I'm not doing certain things. It's never going to be on my plate. But I also know that I can put more on my plate by eliminating things that I don't need to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it starts. It's like, how bad do you want that thing? And what are you willing to give up to have the success in your real estate business? And it maybe you have to give up watching TV every single night for a year.
Oh, darn.
Right.
It's just feeding you a bunch of BS anyway.
And I spend 30 minutes reading a book every day.
Right.
Like, but again, how bad do you want it? That's really how bad do you want to stop working the job?
Yeah.
How bad do you want to live the lifestyle? Most of us got into real estate. We didn't want to be our own bosses. We wanted the flexibility and the lifestyle that we envisioned of being able to go on trips, being able to work whenever I want. And then
the reality is a lot dimmer.
Reality punches you right in the face, and you realize that, oh man, like I just created a harder job.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
And the more successful you get, the harder it gets.
Yeah. But
hence this conversation.
Correct. But it doesn't have to be that way. All I can say is stop being afraid to truly build a business to match the lifestyle you want.
Yeah.
Once you get over that, I think it's just a fear of unknown, a fear of, like you said, what's step one? Do it.
Yeah. I mean, there should be no fear.
No.
Because there is no risk.
There isn't. Yeah.
Unless you're building a brand, which is much harder than it looks. Yeah. And there are some people, this is not a cheap shot, but it might be. There are some people who I guess have looked at like what we've built and we've made it look pretty easy.
Yeah.
And it's not easy.
Nope.
And they think the only way to do it is to devalue their brand to zero.
Yep.
And if you're running off of zero margin, you will have zero success.
For sure.
Period. It costs money to run a business. It is what it is. And it's all in relation to the value you truly provide to someone, not the value you BS.
Yeah.
And so that's something when you're looking at your brand, don't be afraid of slow growth. Slow growth is solid.
Yep.
And it's something that I've struggled with a little bit because we've grown significantly, right? Like last year was significant. I mean, every year we've been sitting at like 600% growth or more in sales
2 years
volume,
in a row, yeah.
right? And now I have this pressure that I'm putting on myself to say, I'm going to do that again this year. That's hard.
Yeah.
Like it's easy when you're going from 20 people to 70 people, you're like, oh man, look at me. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And then you get up in these bigger numbers of like, I'm going to go from 400 people to 800 people, which is our goal this year. It is no easy task.
It has been tough since day one since I've started, right?
Yeah. But because of how dialed in we are and how refined we are in processes and otherwise, it's one of those things that we are actually able to scale.
Yep.
I was naive when I opened the company and I was like, man, we're going to take over the world. We're going to scale to like X thousands of people in 30 days, right?
Yeah.
No. It's not how this works.
Reality punched you right in the face, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not even close to how it works.
No.
But it's very simple to look at the people that are ahead of you and compare yourself to them in two ways that are detrimental. The one way is, oh, well, they did it, so I can do it faster. Not necessarily true.
Yeah.
Sometimes, for sure. The other way is feeling absolutely defeated because of the fact that they're way up there.
Yeah.
I have easily fallen into that trap in the past where I've looked at the 7 companies that are currently ahead of us and I go, man, like we're not there yet. But literally the youngest of those raised $2 billion and has been in business for 10 years. And I'm like, all right,
10 years.
We're doing okay.
We're 3 years in.
Yeah, we're 3 years and we have not raised $2 billion.
Yeah.
So
And
don't compare.
No,
That's
and
the
you can't. And all you can do is compare yourself to what you've done, right? And where you're going in your vision and the commitments that you make to yourself and to your company and to your culture. Because if you start getting caught up in, oh, this company's doing there, they did this, or yeah, you can look at that for like excitement, you can. But if you start truly comparing yourself of, oh, well, we did this, or we're doing this, or we're gonna go faster, we're gonna get 2 billion in 5 years,
it's a death trap.
It is, right? You put too much on yourself. There was, and I don't need to throw names out there, but a podcast person I listen to, he's like, I don't listen to anyone else's because I don't want to compare my podcast to other people's because I want to just do my thing.
Yeah.
Right. And stay in my own lane of what I'm good at.
Yeah. And that's what you have to do. I mean, for me personally, from the growth of this company perspective, it's really simple. I've turned off all the noise.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch the news as best as I can. I don't want to hear it.
That's fake anyways.
Yeah, of course. But
it's biased.
Fake.
Depending where you look. Yeah.
But I don't want to hear that. I frankly don't really care what other companies are doing because what we're doing is working.
Yeah.
And will continue to work. And there's no point in comparing to somebody maybe who's like little and cheap versus somebody who's got $2 billion in funding. You can get caught somewhere in the middle and you go, man, like I feel overwhelmed because I'm not here.
Yeah.
And as an individual agent, you might be sitting there going, well, man, like you guys talking about these big numbers, like 2 billion. I just want to sell like $2 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Then do it.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't compare to, and from an agent perspective, the worst thing you can do is look at the top agents and go, well, they're selling all the houses, so I'm not sure there's anything left for me.
Always is.
That is a horrible mindset. If you guys, if any of you are listening and you're thinking that, or you're comparing, or you're looking at sales numbers and saying, oh, well, there's a finite number of opportunities, nothing could be further from the truth.
Absolutely. It's brain fart.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
I was trying to save myself.
I tried to save it for you, but I failed.
But yeah, absolutely. Going back to comparing yourself, you'll get stuck on putting unrealistic expectations on yourself. Right? If you're trying to compare, like I'm gonna be that.
Yeah.
Well, but you're you.
Yeah.
Your business is your business. Let's just focus on every day getting better. And I'm telling you, most businesses and most individuals don't learn from their experience. Like you would think that, that's why we have, and I stress systems and process, because when we have something that messes up, we're fixing it. We're not allowing that to become the same thing over and over. And a lot of companies will. They'll just push it off. But yeah, you don't want to set those unrealistic expectations on yourself, because then you won't do anything.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I've been in business 3 years and I've only sold 10 homes. Well, okay, go sell 11.
Yeah.
Go to 12.
Yeah.
I love agents that'll come in and just even just business owners speaking, like I want to go from 0 to 500 million.
Yeah.
It can be done. It's gonna
Yeah.
take some time though.
I mean, that was, one of my, I've fallen into that trap, but then I've also become not even comfortable, because I'm not comfortable with growth taking time. I'm very impatient. However, I'm realistic to the fact that it will take time.
Yes.
And we went from 14 million in sales to 30 something million in sales to 160 or something, 200 million in sales to $1 billion in sales. And now
that's that exponential growth there.
Yeah. But now my expectation for myself is 2 billion in sales this year.
Yeah. Well, you're also trying to double the
absolutely
agent count, right?
Yeah.
So
I have that expectation, but we doubled agent count last year and 500% growth the income numbers. So anyways, I guess we will continue this conversation at a later date.
Last words though, like you want to grow a business, start, like just do it. Yeah. Don't keep running the job route.
Yeah. I don't know that I have any last words.
Last words.
I'm going to let you have the last words today.
If you cannot go on vacation and truly disconnect on multiple vacations, because we said that earlier.
Yeah.
If you can't truly go on multiple vacations and completely disconnect and not have to stress about your business, you don't have a business.
You have a job.
You have a job.
Facts. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. You can find us on all of the places, the Spotify's, the YouTubes, and many other places that I have no idea.
Just search simpliHOM.
Follow us there. Take a listen, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Later.
Hey guys, it's Swy. Thank you for joining us this week, and we really hope you got some useful information and we made your day a little bit better. If you're interested in joining the movement of realtors getting their time and life back, check us out at joinsimplihome.com on the browser, at simpliHOM on socials, or in the description. See you next week.
I had a moment a couple years ago, and we were actually at the same event. And it was like a click moment for me because so many people will talk about systems and processes. And I was like, cool. Like I kind of had a general idea of how this all works, but I couldn't like put the pieces together. Mm-hmm. And the thing that put the pieces together for me is a system is a cookbook and a process is a recipe.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep.
And so when you simplify down to that, then it's really easy to look at the business as a whole and say, do I have systems and processes? Do I have a video that explains the how, the process? And do I have the system that I'm working the process within so that people can understand it, whether that's a software system or just a guideline system? Mm-hmm.
If you cannot go on vacation and truly disconnect on multiple vacations, because we said that earlier.
Yeah.
If you can't truly go on multiple vacations and completely disconnect and not have to stress about your business, you don't have a business.
You have a job.
You have a job.
Don't be afraid of slow growth. I was naive when I opened the company and I was like, man, we're going to take over the world. We're going to scale to like X thousands of people in 30 days, right?
Yeah.
It's very simple to look at the people that are ahead of you and compare yourself to them. I have easily fallen into that trap. in the past where I've looked at the 7 companies that are currently ahead of us, and I go, man, like we're not there yet. But literally the youngest of those raised $2 billion and has been in business for 10 years. And I'm like, all right,
10 years.
we're doing okay.
We're 3 years in.
Yeah, we're 3 years and we have not raised $2 billion.
Yeah.
So don't compare.